Yeah.
All right. Final question of the evening is from Frank in Richland. And Frank is saying that the buyer did not show up for our closing. They have a $10,000 security deposit. Am I, as the seller, entitled to this money? Do I have to do anything else to get it? From Frank in Richland. Yikes.
Well, yeah, you hear me quite often say, I want to see the documents.
Uh-huh.
So the first thing I'd want to see is the purchase agreement and how it specifies the timing for the closing. Okay, so if it says on a certain day and the party doesn't show up on that day for closing, you have the right to, the earnest money deposit,
Mm-hmm.
but you still need to have everybody sign off. Okay, it's not
Yeah.
that easy to get the money. Both parties usually will have to sign off that they agree to release each other in exchange for the earnest money to go to the seller. That's number one. If the purchase agreement designates a time on or about a certain date for closing, right? They
Mm-hmm.
designate on or about. So it's the 22nd, but it says we're going to close on or about the 22nd. The party doesn't show up at the closing on the 22nd, but they still have time because that closing could be afterwards. Usually the law says for up to a week afterwards.
Okay.
So don't be so quick. Courts have interpreted it that way.
Right.
That on or about gives you around a week to 2 weeks, believe it or not. Depends on the court. Depends on the judge.
Mm-hmm.
But they have ruled in certain situations, 2 weeks is still on or about. On or before means if it doesn't occur by a certain date, like on or before the 22nd,
Mm-hmm.
and the 23rd comes, yeah, I would say that they can keep the money. But you can't just take the money.
Right.
Then they have to have some documents signed, and that becomes difficult.
And the buyer who put up the security deposit, they have to sign off on the release as well, right? So you have to track this buyer down. Then we were talking in another video, I had the same scenario as one of the question askers. So that's another scenario we've had where we've had a buyer make an offer, and it was a small $1,000 security deposit, make an offer on a home that we were selling. And then they just vanished, no communication anymore with their realtor, just their financing did fall through. And we didn't worry about it or pursue the $1,000 deposit because there was no person. I hope they're okay wherever you are, buyer that vanished on me. But yeah, so we didn't get them to sign off on it, so we didn't keep it. So that is something, is the title company can't, if you're sitting at the closing table and they've missed their appointment, the title company can't just cut you a check.
Right.
For that security deposit.
Right. Common misconception.
Mm-hmm. So just a quick question. So if the purchase agreement says on or about, we'll close in on or about 30 days.
Right.
And it's been 29 days and say that 29th day is April 29th. But the title company is who scheduled the closing. So just because the title company has scheduled a closing date, it's not dependent upon that date scheduled by the title company. That was just the first available appointment.
That's right.
Okay. Right. So say the buyer runs out of gas on the way to closing, or something else worse, God forbid, happens.
Yeah.
They're not completely out.
No. Right.
Okay.
It's very important that, there's all these, we've talked about it so many times.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many little tricks.
Right.
I wouldn't call them tricks. It's just experience for so many years. I'm doing a vacant land purchase right now on a large parcel that these people want to build a beautiful home on. It deals with the lake and all this stuff. And, there's so many issues that came up when I got involved, where, the clients hired me. The realtor was like, just sign here, do this. And then they, of course, came to me to have it reviewed. I'm like, but what about this? What about that? And why does this language say this? And how come this? And what about a municipal, what about a municipal planning approval? And how many days after that? And they're like, he never said any of these things. And I'm like, yeah, because, you know, with all due respect, and I say it quite often because there's some really great realtors out there.
Mhm.
I've been very fortunate to work with very good realtors. It's like everything else. When you're dealing with a good professional, you'll know it because you see it in the quality of the transaction from beginning to end. You know, the on or about or the whereas as is, you know, there's so many different issues that people aren't aware of. So if you're watching this and you've never closed a deal on your own before, or you're trying to sell your own property for the first time, you know, definitely go get a professional. Don't call me, call any real estate attorney to help
Yes.
you. You know, it doesn't have to be me, but don't call a criminal attorney. Don't call a
Right.
personal injury attorney. You know, call a real estate attorney who's got many years of experience doing purchase agreements or, you know, refinance issues or loan agreements that relate to real estate, you know, commercial, residential, industrial, or vacant. All those things are really important. And there's just such a difference. And when you don't have that, that's again the legal vomit that comes across our
Yes.
desk that we clean
Mhm.
up. So the on or about is just about one. I'll give you one more tidbit before we go, because we always go like where is as is. You know what? You know where is as is means, right? You're taking the property as is.
Yes. Yep.
How many people? How many buyers go? Well, it says where is as is. I'm giving the offer, and I guess that's how I'm taking it. And it's like, no, you're still allowed to do a home inspection.
Right.
It's your inspection. It's just that you don't have a right to ask the seller to change anything. But during
Yes.
that time frame, you still have the opportunity to go, you know what? I know I said whereas as is, but I did the inspection, and this is not a property I want to get involved with.
Right.
There are
You
so
can
many
you can
people who get
still
stuck.
reject. Right. You
Yeah,
can still reject. You
right,
just can't. Yeah. You can't enforce anything.
right,
You can't make any requests. Or you
right. But
can. You can, but you can't
yeah,
expect.
you can.
Right.
But you know what? Sometimes, you know, certain things come out, and even those transactions, somebody who really wants to sell a property to you
Hmm.
will say, yeah, I know. The seller might go, well, I know I said whereas as is, but oh, that's an issue. I'll take care of that for you. You know,
Sure.
that happens too.
Sure.
So real estate, the reason why you love real estate is because every day is a different fact pattern, a
Hmm.
problem that you get to solve. That's why you like real estate investing, right? It's
Yes.
exciting.
And it also pays more than teaching elementary school did.
Well, right, but that's also a very important job, right?
Yes.
Very
Yes.
important. But I mean, that's why I love real estate law. Is that every
Yes.
day in finance law, no two
Hmm.
fact patterns are ever the same. Uh, it's very exciting. And so I'm happy to be here tonight. I know we have to wrap it up because we went down a major rabbit hole. But you know, are we done with our questions? Are we pretty good?
Yeah, we are
Good.
done. We're done. So if you're watching the end of this video, what David and I do is his awesome office crew puts together a list of questions that people like you who are watching at home or wherever you happen to be watching. He puts together a list of questions, and then so I ask the questions, and then he brings the answers and the wisdom and all of the tips, tricks, and tactics that he brings to the table. So this was just one question that you watched. David and I, though, have gone through a set. We went through 13 questions tonight.
Wow.
So we've got a whole set. So if you're probably watching this on YouTube, but if you're watching it elsewhere, go to David's YouTube channel. Just type it in the search bar, David Sobel, proven resource, Sobel Law. You'll find his YouTube channel, and you will find videos on topics like this and many, many more having to do with real estate, finance, contracts, estate planning, all sorts of different things. If it touches real estate, David's got an answer for your question. So you can also reach out to David to get your questions answered as well. You can go to his website, provenresource.com, or you can give him a call. David, what is your office phone number?
888-789-1715.
Right.
You know, and also, Blair, as you know, before we finish, you can go on our website, and we have so much besides the YouTube, which has hundreds of videos. We have so many blog posts. I have 5 books that that are available for free. You can download them. dealing with real estate or business in real estate or asset planning in real estate or loan mortgages, debt, and real estate, and then books on real estate. And these are all books and content that we've created over the many years that we give away for free. So Proven Resource gives, that's the website, but we like to think we're a proven resource when it comes to real estate issues and lending issues and debt issues as they relate to real estate, and financial disputes as they relate to real estate. And that's where you get the estate planning, and that's where you get issues related to asset planning. Financial disputes relate to real estate. Most people's biggest asset is real estate. So there's a lot available. You've been so gracious, Blair, every week or so that we go online and we do this. And so, kudos to you. And also we deal with a great group that we're both part of, which is the Michigan. Go ahead, take it.
Michigan Real Estate Investor Network. So if you are a real estate investor and you're focused in Michigan, you don't have to live in Michigan, but if you are investing in Michigan, we're on Facebook. Just go to the Facebook group, Michigan Real Estate Investor Network. And there's also a website that you can go to as well. And I am drawing a blank, MichiganREINetwork.com. I think is what it is. It's late for David and I. It's pushing 9 p.m.
Oh my.
Yeah. Right. Right. So you can connect with David on Facebook as well. And he has his own personal account also. So maybe you can hit him up and friend request David Sobel.
Okay.
Or myself.
All right, we'll stop right there.
Exactly. So either way, we're getting a little loopy. So thank you so much to everyone who is watching. And we will see you guys with more questions in the next video. Take care, David. Have a great night.
Thank you, Blair. I appreciate it. Have a good night.